So this is a very interesting, it's not an interview, it's an informal conversation about two incredible people, my teacher Giovanni Consiglio and Marion Gambardella, that was always behind the scenes helping him. And then we found out that a lot of the things that she does still now, and by the way, a lot of singers now go to her to feel better about singing, right?
Yeah,
to remove the pressure.
One-on-one counseling and
yeah, it's one-to-one counseling in New York City, and she counsels a lot of singers, removing the pressure, the edge, before they go on stage, or training them, or even public speakers, how to do it right. But now.
And also to help them on with negative emotions and things that block them, even in their personal or business relationships or any relationship whatsoever. But emotions is what gets us in trouble. And and singers have fear.
The fear.
One of them is fear, of course, and anxiety. And
because if you are not relaxed,
then your throat center just closes on you, and then you get, and these are our anxiety points, so you stiffen up, and then here, if you don't, it'll help hurt the breathing.
Without the diaphragm.
If you're blocked here, and so, because emotionally, I mean, fear could paralyze you.
Yeah.
Fear paralyzes people, and actually fear is just a thought. So if you could change the thought, you change the emotion.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, you know, we always say change your thoughts, change your life. You know?
Who said that don't be afraid of fear? Winston Churchill says something interesting about fear, about fear itself.
Yes, but even Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln said that too?
Yes, Roosevelt, you know, the fear.
I guess they also had fear about something.
Oh, sure, well, look at the responsibility they have.
Yeah.
You know.
And they came up with these solutions that now...
Yes, that we benefited by, that we had great leaders at that time. So now today, well, we won't even go into that. But I want to say I'm very proud of Giovanni and I worked at what we wanted to do, what we liked to do, what our desires were, and he was very good because he never. He kind of accepted the fact that I had desires to do different things and that I had goals I wanted to achieve. He never said, well, you can't do that, or I don't want you to. He really was wonderful. And I worked on the West Coast for almost 4 years, coming back and forth. And I thought that was really wonderful of him to allow me to.
That's when I think I knew him.
Yes, and but it was at a point in our lives where, you know, we had accomplished so much, he had accomplished so much, and he was teaching, and he was focusing and on directing, helping young people, young students. So it was an okay time. We spoke sometime twice a day, and I'd come in for a few days or a week, and so I can't believe to this day that we did that for 4 years. But he was, and then I knew I was finished. I had experience. I was invited there by one of the largest unity centers in Northern California, the biggest, and it was an honor to be invited to help them develop a healing and holistic center. For their counseling center, and I was on twice on national television and 3 times on CNBC before it just became news. I was on there live.
How many? Well, we're talking the last time about many wonderful people Giovanni sang with. Soprano and baritone on stage. Do you have a list?
I do, and I have the list because I don't want to leave anybody out, because if any of them hear, they'll go, well, she didn't say anything about me and mention my name. But it's quite a list because, you know, Giovanni sang a long time, and he shared the stage and performances with so many celebrated artists, and including Zinka Milanoff, and she did her last performance with Giovanni of Tosca.
The last performance that Zinka did?
Yes, Zinka Milanoff did Tosca.
Was the Tosca in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Because she replaced Franco Corelli
that night, and that's how he got to sing with Zinka, yes.
Nice.
And then in concert work, Renata Scotto, Roberta Peters, Gabriella Tucci, Eileen Farrell, of course, Martina Arroyo, Montserrat Caballé, Anna Moffo, Beverly Sills. He toured with several Pagliaccis. Marilyn Niska, who he enjoyed tremendously. They had great chemistry. Alicia Albanese, of course. Eleanor Ross, great soprano. Lucina Mara, he did many performances with Lucine, opera and concert. And Lillian Genser. The men, some of them, Robert Merrill, Richard Tucker, Jan Pierce. That's a nice story. If we have time later, I will bring you in on that one. He shared the stage. Then Jerome Hines, Justino Diaz, great bass. Cheryl Milnes sang, I think, the first Tonio in Cincinnati with Giovanni.
My God. Yep. Oh my God. This is historical.
Yes, and then of course Franco Corelli, who became a very good friend later on. Matteo Manuera, Frank Guerrera, Renato Brusson, Frederic Bushinal. These are all great singers. Luis Garro, these are Metropolitan. Paul Pliszka, at the beginning of his career, in fact, he was trying to make a decision when we met him. I think it was he was going to go on a national Metropolitan tour. And there were people telling him not to go. And Giovanni said, "You've got to go." And of course, Paul became a great singer at the Metropolitan Opera House. James Morris was another who studied, worked with Giovanni. Russell Christopher, Nino Castell, who did...
Oh my God, yes.
And they were good friends.
Yeah.
Leo Nucci.
He sang with Leo Nucci?
Well, concert.
Concert
individually.
Leo Nucci still sings.
Oh, he's a wonderful baritone.
He's unbelievable.
Fantastic. Ezio Flagello, Louis Qualico, I think it was. Yeah. And Vernon Hartman, who was his student and then ended up at the Met. And some women, Isla Jones, Joanne Grillo. And then there were singers he sang with. Oh, G. Madeira he loved. She did Carmen with him. She was fantastic, and she passed away
G.
early. Madeira, yeah. And Irene Kramerich, also one who left us early, young. And then Elizabeth Caron was not at the Met, but sang it all around here. She was a wonderful... like Elaine Malville, Elaine Malvin, because Elizabeth Caron was smaller, like Elaine, and Giovanni, as to say, the first act of Butterfly at the end, he likes to pick up the soprano, walk with him, and he liked when he had them as the butterfly. Lenore Lancelotti, she did many performances. She was a good friend. We had lots of fun with Lenora. And then Giovanni sang under the batons of Sir Thomas Beecham, Fausto Cleva, Franco, and Giuseppe Patane, father and son, Jose Iturbi, Anton Coppola, Carlo Moresco, Anton Guadagno, Joe Ricchino, Vincent La Selva, Victor Renzi, and he was greatly admired by his tenor colleagues. He really was. And his two special friends, Franco Corelli and Placido Domingo, he really enjoyed their friendship. That's
a wonderful thing.
Yes, and Ento Pizzamenti.
Oh, you might humble.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he enjoyed you very much. He was when you came into his life. He really enjoyed you, and he came home and told me when you first went to him, and he said, "Oh, I met such a nice man, a nice tenor, good voice, and he comes from Italy, and we have so much in common." And he didn't get close to many people.